As we come to the close of this first month, I want to begin by naming something clearly. If you feel like nothing dramatic happened, that's not a problem. If you don't feel fixed, clear, or suddenly certain about your life, that is not a failure. Month 1 was never meant to change your life. It was meant to change how you see it. This month was all about awareness, and awareness is quiet work. It doesn't announce itself with breakthroughs or bold decisions. It shows up as noticing, as subtle discomfort, as questions you can't unsee once they've been asked. If you're feeling slightly unsettled, slightly more honest, or slightly less willing to override yourself, then this month did exactly what it was meant to do. Now let's take a moment together. I'd like you to pause and just notice your body right now. Notice your breath. Notice whether there's more space, even if it's subtle. Month 1 was about the illusion of success, not because success is bad, but because unconscious success is expensive. Many of us were living inside definitions we never chose, metrics that rewarded performance over presence, standards that quietly taught us to leave our bodies behind. And instead of trying to dismantle those structures, we simply turned the lights on. We noticed where success felt urgent instead of fulfilling. We noticed where our bodies learned to equate worth with output. We noticed identities we built in order to belong. We noticed how language like "I have to" quietly removed choice. That noticing matters more than action ever could at this stage, because you cannot realign what you cannot see. Now, as you think back over this month, ask yourself gently, what do I see now that I didn't see before? Not what you've changed, just what you've noticed. Many people underestimate awareness because it doesn't do anything right away. But awareness is destabilizing in the best way. It loosens old patterns without violence. It interrupts autopilot. It creates space between stimulus and response. And space is where agency lives. If at any point this month you felt resistance, discomfort, or even boredom, I want to normalize that too. These are often signs that your nervous system was encountering something unfamiliar. Not danger, but choice. For many people, effort feels familiar. Urgency feels normal. Self-override feels responsible. Alignment, in contrast, can feel quiet, even empty at first. And that emptiness can be unsettling. But emptiness is not absence, it's room. Room to choose differently. Room to listen more closely. Room to stop performing alignment and actually practice it. Now, let's pause again. I'd like you to ask your body silently, what has this month given me? You may not get words. You may get a sensation, a softening, a feeling of being less alone inside yourself. That counts. One of the most important things to understand about this work is that we are not fixing ourselves. We are undoing unconscious self-abandonment. And that undoing happens gradually, often invisibly, often retroactively, where you only realize later that something shifted. This is why I want to say this very clearly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not doing this wrong. If anything, you're doing something most people never slow down enough to do. You're questioning the structures that shaped you before you build on top of them. That is maturity. That is discernment. And that is the foundation of everything that comes next. Now, if you so choose after this talk, you can decide to respond to this journaling prompt. What am I no longer willing to pretend is aligned? You don't need to act on the answer, just let it exist. Now, I'd like to orient us gently toward month 2. Month 2 is all about reclaiming agency. But agency cannot be reclaimed through willpower. It can only be reclaimed after awareness. Otherwise, choice becomes another form of pressure. This month prepared your nervous system to experience choice without panic, to notice obligation without immediately obeying it, to sense truth without rushing to justify it. That is not small work. So as we close, I want to offer you one final practice to carry forward. Once a day, I challenge you to ask yourself, where am I already telling myself the truth? Not where you're perfect, not where you're brave, just where you're honest. Then acknowledge that. Alignment begins with honesty, not action. And honesty practiced gently builds trust. As we move into the next month, nothing will be demanded of you, but more will become available. Choice, agency, discernment, only because you learned how to see, and seeing is where everything begins.